Marathon is doomed regardless of whether it gets a one-year delay or not, solely for the fact that GTA 6 releases next year, and by the time Marathon releases, other more popular releases will overshadow it.
Yeah, Bender, I don't think you're wrong. We'll talk about Marathon more in a few minutes because there's a lot to talk about. But after taking the weekend, like, I cannot in my mind's eye see an outcome for Marathon that's like happy, other than them delaying the crap out of it and coming back with like solo queue. Like the one thing people like the gaming public loves more than a dumpster fire is when a game overcomes the dumpster fire and ends up being fantastic. Like, people love that. Like, No Man's Sky is the prime example of that. Starts as an absolute dumpster fire and ends up becoming like I guess an example. There's a specific word I'm looking for. I can't remember. Cyberpunk. Yeah. Even Siege to a certain extent. Exactly. Like a Fallout 76 also. People love seeing that comeback and rooting for the underdog when they come back and actually prove that they are deserving of it. And so there is a way where Marathon could find success if they came back with so much having been improved, with so many, poster child, I think is what I was looking for. Thank you, Mr. Mode. If they came back and they had solo queues, if they had more maps, if they had like more world events, if they had sort of a Helldivers 2-esque meta narrative going on, if they came back with a ton of stuff, ranked modes, everything, and they said, listen, give us a chance, I think at that point, there's at least a chance. But if they just end up shoving it out the door and being like, yeah, we'll improve it over time, that doesn't work. And I think that was the strategy, was launch it and we'll add ranked, we'll add the fourth map, we'll do all of that after. And I don't think that works. Yeah. And I don't know, like, again, we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but they were supposed to have a whole marketing push in June. They've canceled the entire thing because they have to scrub all of the gameplay and all of the assets free of those decals and textures and everything they took from that artist. And so I don't even know if it's like how much different is it going to look, different at all. Like, I don't even know. But yeah, at this point, the odds of that being successful.
Matt Harris.
Bungie's beyond saving at this point. Oh, we're going to talk about Bungie because there's so much. And I also think that some of the stuff we saw with how Bungie leadership handled this whole thing, or has been handling it, has really revealed something kind of pathetic. Just the whole thing is the leadership at Bungie is the problem, and it has been for a very long time. And the way they're reacting to this and handling it is further evidence of that kind of disconnect and problem they have. Let's see. Judson, thank you for the 5. Marathon will die if Bungie continue the MVP route in 2025, knowing their competition has more content and stuff to provide a good extraction shooter. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can compete with Arc Raiders right now. And the fact that so many people tried Marathon and then tried Arc Raiders and kept playing Arc Raiders but left Marathon behind, I think that says so much. I think that tells you pretty much everything you need to know. Because the moment people were not being sponsored to play Marathon, they went over and played Arc Raiders for free. And I think that's something you can't really argue with, because people are voting with their time. And that's the thing with streamers, is like, you can pay them to play your game for a while, but the litmus test for its success is not what they're playing when they're being paid to play it, but what they're playing when they're just playing what they want to play, what their audience likes to see, what they want to play, and what they want to spend their time doing. And people were moving towards Arc Raiders and having a good time with that, but they were giving up on Marathon after just a handful of hours. And I mean, that alone is like the big red flag you can't really argue with. You can debate like certain elements of the design. You can debate that it's going to be better by launch. You can debate that they'll add this or add that. But you can't really argue with the fact that the entire industry of streaming seemed fairly unenthused by Marathon, but they were really impressed with Arc Raiders. And I think it's because Arc Raiders just has a lot more. And it's because they haven't rushed it, you know? They're not trying to shove it out probably a year or two before it's ready. Marathon needs a lot more time, but I don't think they're going to get given it. But we'll see. I personally think Marathon is an amazing extraction shooter. It does a fantastic job of extracting the fun out of the shooter. Yeah, they had a game designer who just really misunderstood the assignment. It was just like, oh, that's what extraction shooter means? Oh, oops. Messed that up. Oh, sorry, guys. That's my bad. Oh, jeez.
Just want to point out that the original Marathon was the game that put Bungie on the map, and now the modern version is the one that breaks them.
It is kind of funny how that's happened. It is kind of funny because it did, like, way back in the day, like 90s. It was part of what blew them up, and then, you know, pre-Halo, pre-everything. And now they tried to relaunch it as like an easy way to kickstart the extraction shooter thing. It's almost poetic. It's almost poetic.